Okay, let's see. Oh, yes. Bagel eyes. Eye hooks. Or eye screws, rather. And I'm gonna need our bottle today. Alright. Okay. Alrighty. Are we ready? I think we're as ready as we're gonna be. So, sorry for the late start, you guys. It was only like 50 minutes late. Shit happens, especially around here. So, sorry for the late start. We're gonna see if we can cobble this guy together. We'll see. I would like to get him finished, because I have got so much other stuff that we need to move on to. I have to figure out where we left off on him. I think we left off about here. I tell you, I had every intention of starting at least close to on time today, but it was my fault entirely. I was up way late trying to get celebration articles done, and they were taking me about an hour last night because I was still fighting a migraine. And, excuse me. So by the time I got done and looked at the time, I was like, oh, okay. It was like 6:30. By the time I got in bed, it was almost 7 a.m. I was like, right. That's a thing. But I was really hoping to get them all wrapped up before Dragonflight launched today, and it looks like that was successful. So it looks like there was a total of 59 Iron Man challengers with green flag successful runs for Shadowlands. So I'm just knocking everything everywhere. Oh wow, the way the fiber is sitting over there and my package of supplies, it looks like there's a fox over here. It's not, but it kind of looks like a fox or a kitty cat. Okay, sorry, allergy game is on point today as well, because of course, living in this area of the state, the weather's gotta fuck with you, so everything thought it was winter time and stopped blooming, and Russell and I were like, yay! And then the weather goes, psych, and we're back into the high 50s and high 60s again for the rest of the week, except it's gonna fake us out because it keeps dropping down into winter temperatures at night. Like, I think tonight it's supposed to drop down into the 20s after hitting like mid 50s during the day. I'm like, really? No. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be almost 70. Almost 70. Not even December 1st. It's going to be almost 70 tomorrow. And then the low is supposed to be like 26. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? What? That's not how this works. Apparently it is now. Apparently it is. And I don't like it. I don't like these mood swing temperatures. When it got cold in New Jersey, it stayed cold until like April. Sometimes May. You knew what to expect. There might be an oddball warm day here and there, but it wasn't this constant yo-yo bullshit of hot, then cold, then hot, then cold, and maybe in the middle, and then just cold. So, I'm not a fan of this stupidness. My body is not a fan of this stupidness. We're fairly certain that between that and the rain that we had is what triggered my weekend marathon migraine. Don't recommend. Don't recommend. Not fun. Especially when you've got a ton of shit to do. Like, what? No, I don't have time for this. Go away. I really don't have time for this. Alright. So, let's see. We're just finishing up where we left off on the last bit of, I guess, throat, neck feathers, head feathers. And then we're going to try to put the tail feathers on real quick. Like I said yesterday, eyes are going to go on almost last. So we have our bag of eyeballs. We'll have to pick the size that we think is going to work. One of these days I'll replace my mat. This mat's about a year old. I mean, we can still work with it. Not that big of a deal. It just doesn't sit flat anymore with the abuse that I've put it through. And we have put it through its paces. I mean, I don't think it's really been meant to have a full, like, close to 8x10 piece of felted on top of it, so it's done fairly well, I think. Only imagine the amount of yarn and all kinds of other fluff that are in this sucker. Sorry, I'm just seeing like little fuzzes that our guy's picking up that I don't want on there. Okay, now let's see. Get you tucked into here. We're gonna be just short. Okay, I'm gonna have to grab one tiny, super tiny piece of fuzzy stuff here. Now this is roving. There is yarn on here also. Acrylic yarn and roving. We've done a slight mix today. Well, on this project, not today, but on this beast. So he's supposed to be a rooster. I don't know. I'm kind of getting, what's the rooster from Moana? It kind of reminded me of that. With the color scheme here. I've never seen Moana, but I've seen pictures of the rooster, so. Disney just hasn't interested me as far as like the animated films in some time. I think Beauty and the Beast will always be my favorite. Okay, I think we need a little bit right here. If you hear like a vibraty bassy noise, I apologize. My neighbor is getting ready to leave Our house is not very soundproof, and he turns his truck on for like 20 minutes and then goes back in the house. So if it sounds vaguely like a helicopter, but not exactly, kind of bassy, thumpy noise, it's his truck running. His driveway is right outside our window. Apologies, nothing I can do. There's also going to be traffic noise in the background, because again, we live on a busy street. It is like the main road through town. And people are coming home from work, and again, the house isn't very soundproof, so it is what it is. We just kind of have to work around it. Alright, so rooster guy, we need to work on his butt now. Got to work on the butt. Oh, he's actually leaving early. He usually doesn't leave till 6. It's only 5. Curious. Try to figure out if this is going to be enough. So I have noticed that this stuff doesn't like to snake as well. Some of the colors. Or maybe my hands were just slippery that day. One day, the one color I had a hell of a time trying to roll. But I might have had lotion on earlier, which might have been the problem. And that might work. Alright, so we're going to work on debutt feathers. If we can. So this is going to be... Don't want to adhere this guy to your mat. So you're going to have to keep... Oh, not stab yourself, but you need to pick them up and turn them. He's not quite thick enough for me to hold on to there. But you don't want to get carried away and just permanently attach him to the mat here. That would not be good. So kind of like how we worked on the little doodle, little hangy doodle, and the comb on the head when we were trying to manipulate this guy and kind of bunch him up and tighten him up. I don't want to go too far because I want to have enough for us to grip the rooster butt. So we will see, and since this is thin, you know, we're going to have the pokies coming through all of the sides, so it's going to take